Well, this is just another engine I've been working on out of the bunch I've bought a couple months ago. I think it's a 3-horse Briggs and Stratton. It's in actually pretty good shape. Paint's left on it. The rustiest parts were really the shroud on the top and the front of the engine cowling on the pull start. Those are really the dirtiest spots, and the label's obviously worn off. And I had this all apart and everything. I had the flywheel off. Looks pretty good underneath it. Points were real rusty and everything, so I cleaned them up a bit. The coil, that got cleaned up. Thing has terrific spark now when you pull it over, and it's actually got great compression. And this was labeled as a seized engine, but there was a 1.5 inch, I think it was a 5/16 bolt stuck behind the flywheel on the magnet, hitting against something. So that's really all that was wrong with it. And it really doesn't look too bad. And I got the gas tank for it down here, which unfortunately this one is absolutely loaded with rust. Whether you can see it or not, yeah, you should be able to. It's pretty bad down there, so I'm probably going to use some really small stones like the pea stones, and I'll stick them in there and I'll see if I can't shake it around a bit and get some of the rust off. The other unfortunate thing is I broke a bolt off in it when I was taking the carburetor off, because it was kind of stupid, because this one, which is the original, it's nice and short. Well, the other one was probably about that much longer down inside, and because it's rusty in there, the bolt got all rusty too, and it wouldn't make it up through the threads. And I was using vice grips, and it was actually backing out and everything, and then it snapped off, but I'll see if I can't get it off. And there's the air cleaner, by the way. And the carburetor, it's really just got a bunch of dirt on it. Other than that, it's okay, you know. Oh, and the other thing is, right where my index finger is, right there, that little piece broke off of it. It was broken when I got it, so I won't have a governor when I go to start it, but you know, you can still move the throttle by hand. Screen's cleaned on the bottom. In the back of the shroud, I had to clean all this out. It's actually not rusty at all, except for up in the corner there. It's got the aluminum pull start, so it's definitely an older one. And in on the fins on the engine, in there and everything, and on the back of this shroud, minus all the other junk in the bin here, was a lot of this stuff, like the grease junk with the you know, dirt and whatnot clogged into it. And I had to scrape all that out, so I spent a good 2 hours doing that, because it's too cold out to really power wash it. And one of the other things I got to do is somehow get the oil plug out, because if you can see, one of the tabs broke off of it a while ago, and I don't know if that's a pull out or a spin out or whatnot, so I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point. Alright, got the cowling back on and everything, and I'm gonna do a spark test to show you guys how good the spark is for being such an old engine. And along with being an old engine, the tag on the side for the serial numbers and everything was in super good condition. Had like no paint missing on it at all. You can read everything on it. Because I was amazed when I got this that it was in this kind of condition. And there's no rot on the back of it, just some dirt and whatnot. Because if you look at the engine, you know, it almost seems out of place when you put it on there. But anyways. And the carburetor will go back on once that gas tank's fixed and cleaned up. And by the way, the muffler someone had on this was this kind of configuration to get it out past the gas tank, because they didn't have the original, which I do have the original, which I'll be probably putting it on there once I get it off the engine I have up in the shed. Alright. And this is the spark test. So from what you can see, for an old engine, it's actually got super good spark. And probably, I don't know, maybe in the next week or so, depending on what I'm doing, or what I feel like doing, I should be able to have this thing running.